Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Professor Fred Ogola. I want to clarify something which is a very pertinent issue regarding the burial that just took place of Albert Ojwang. First of all, I want to take this chance to again continue sending my condolences to the family and to the whole country that have lost a very key son in the name of Albert Ojwang. I want to thank all the Gen Zs. I want to thank all Kenyans from all walks of life that united together to ensure that Ojwang was given a very good send-off. But apart from that, cry for justice has been heard. And I'm sure even God has heard in heaven. And eventually Ojwang is going to get justice. I also want to thank the youths in Mawego who destroyed all myths that has ever been put around funeral. They are going to listen to politicians doing their thing while they sit back and watch. They took center stage and showed that Ojwang was picked from Mawego police station and they are to take him there. In Luo, it's important that we have to connect you with the spirit where you are taken. So for them, they believe that if Ojwang didn't pass through Mawego police station, Ojwang could still be alive. So for us, we did ours at Central Police Station. We went to see the Central Police Station where Ojwang seemingly is where he was killed. So our heart is at peace at the moment. So I'm happy. I'm sure maybe you could have taken the body of Ojwang to Central Police also when we were doing the Requiem Mass, but I'm sure the people of Mawego showed the world something that has never been seen before. They handled the body well. I'm happy they returned back the body and the body has been put to rest. And may the soul of the great Albert Ojwang rest in peace. I did not attend the funeral myself because there were some things that people take for granted. When something happens like a tragic things like the one that happened to Ojwang, there are some things which come of clear priority. The first priority was that instead of shouting about justice in the funeral, the most important thing, this is a lesson to all Kenyans. Whenever something happens to any Kenyan, similar to what happened to Ojwang, quickly ensure there's a postmortem that has been done immediately so that you can secure evidence. Because according to me, the scene of crime was one, Mawego police station. The second scene of crime was Central Police, Nairobi. The third scene of crime was Mbagathi Hospital. The fourth scene of crime was City Mortuary Hospital. Of course, now Ojwang's body was eventually taken to Chiromo after doing embalmment. So you see people shouting in the funeral saying, justice for Ojwang. Justice cannot be found if you have not collected good evidence from the postmortem which was done. I saw some people throwing millions of shillings, like 2 million, 1 million. But in the beginning, the parents needed money to do a postmortem using a family pathologist to get the right postmortem results. Of course, Kenyans of goodwill, and that's what I was really critical, to ensure that we get the family pathologists, do the right postmortem, so that you can have the right results. So, of course, I saw that the funeral was more now people trying to throw their political weighting. But I'm happy again, the youth determined who was speaking and who was not going to speak. Long live the spirit of Gen Z. And I'm sure they should not just speak in a funeral. They should go to the ballot and speak this spirit again. And show that whom they don't want must go. We must drain the swamp. Only demonstrating during a funeral is not enough. We must show in a polling station. The way they showed their power in the police station, let us transfer that power in the polling station when we go to election. Because the people of Homa Bay ashamed me when they stayed in the stadium for 24 hours to celebrate Madaraka Day with the killer, William Ruto, and his gangs. Now they have demonstrated otherwise, that actually those things were not where their heart is. Their heart is with the son of Kenya, Albert Ojwang. And they demonstrated that they are going to show this. And tell people of Homa Bay, if you are really serious, instead of spending 24 hours in a stadium to celebrate Madaraka Day, go and spend 24 hours in a polling station and get the right leaders from the president to the governor, to the senator, to the MC, to the MPA, so that even your women rep can lead you in a way that we cannot have these scammers who are having what is called rank being more important to them than human rights. Actually, for some of those leaders, rank is more important to them than human rights, and rank comes at the expense of human rights and development. So that's what it is here. Now, I've had so many stories being explained here. Why didn't the wife of Ojwang throw the soil into Ojwang's grave. First of all, let me explain this in two ways. Why do women or even a wife of a deceased throw soil in the Luo tradition in the grave? By throwing soil, without going to Ojwang's wife's case, by throwing soil in your husband's grave means that, first of all, that you confirm that all the traditions needed about marriage had been carried correctly before the deceased died. Which means if his wedding was done, if his dowry, it was paid. If it was the fulfillment that the parents of the deceased family wanted, was done. In case that it was not done against a woman, normally the wife of the parents of the wife normally demand that they are fulfilled before their daughter is buried. But if they are not fulfilled against a man, normally it's easier. So that's one reason. Secondly, normally by throwing soil, it means that the widow is ready to carry all the traditional requirements of the husband. For example, when you are married in a Luo tradition, when you are buried your husband, there are certain days you must sleep outside the veranda, when you cannot be able to sleep in the house until your husband sends you a dream. It's called a lake. So there are so many things you have to follow which are traditional. And some of these traditional things are so burdensome. So according to me, the wife of Ojwang either was told by the parents, I know families discuss this thing, not to do that for reasons that doing all those traditions have become very heavy. I remember Ojwang's father is a deacon of Baptist church. And they are very deep Christians with deep faith. You could see the man, he could take this thing with a lot of grace because of his, let's say, religious, let's say, position. He's a deacon, ordained deacon in the Baptist church. So maybe because they are family very deep in Christ, they saw no need of burdening this woman with too many Luo traditions because she's too young to bear all this. She has a young boy. So they liberate her from all this. So according to me, even as we believe that the tradition should die, then resurrects in Christianity. Even me, my family, my father was a catechist. I have a brother who is a priest. We don't follow traditions to the strict sense because only when tradition works with our Christianity, we follow. Where they don't converge, we follow Christianity. Because once you are a Christian, you cannot go back to the dark days because we can't say you go back to mystery. But I still believe very strongly in the Luo tradition. I also believe in the Luo ways of doing things. I think that's what I can talk about in this segment. Thank you.
So there's an aspect of maybe if she throws the soil in the grave, maybe she's not allowed again to remarry.
No, there is no such a thing. Because when you are a Christian, you so long as you don't follow you cannot follow Christianity at the same time you follow Luo tradition. So you take one or the other. According to me, throughout the celebration of Ojwang's life, I didn't see where they were very strict about tradition. For example, I can give you one. When the body was entering Ridgeway's Baptist church, according to the Luo tradition, when you enter the church, your leg goes in front of your head. But this way, they allowed the tradition of the church so that he entered from his head. The coffin was from the head, not from the leg. So if they followed that from the Baptist church, it means they took the decision of Christ. They followed Christ, and therefore it does not bind him, does not bind her. She can still fall in love with any man if she wants to. It is actually her decision. It does not matter how she buried the husband. It is actually her decision to marry. But I don't think there's someone who can say he's not allowed. Who is not to allow her? She's the one to decide what she wants. She buried her husband as a Christian, and therefore she can still remarry as a Christian if she so wishes. That decision only lies with her, not even the father-in-law, not even the mother-in-law, but her talk. She's so close to that family. She wants to be the bond in that family, and therefore I'm sure this is a decision for the family. What I ask Kenyans, don't ask too many questions. Allow this family to mourn. They have gone through too much. People speculating about who will marry her. How do you want to think about marriage on the day of burying your husband, really? I'm sure she has no feelings even for a man for now. Let her just mourn, let the family mourn, let them rest for now, I think.